All right, Rick Bozich, are you tired of hearing the term IARP?
I am so tired, I'm not even going to try and say it because I've flubbed it on the air not once, not twice, but 3 times.
I'm with you there. But what it is, the Independent Accountability Resolution Process, they finally came down Thursday with this final decision. We've got it here. I scratched off some notes here. I think bottom line is 2 years probation for U of L basketball, a $5,000 fine. They can find that in their couch cushions around there, and some very minor recruiting restrictions. Feels to me like U of L really dodged a bullet here.
Yeah, I mean, it signals a change from the NCAA, from the Committee of Infractions to the IARP. I had a friend who's an attorney text me and say with the Infractions Committee, they started out with you're guilty until proven innocent, and with IARP, it's you're innocent until proven guilty, and they didn't feel like there was enough evidence presented to punish Louisville on some of these things, and they also dismissed on some of the things that Louisville did as not being that significant. And so Rick Pitino, free spot on the bingo card, and Chris Mack I saw was tweeting a car with him being very happy riding down the road.
Yeah. Do you think, and we'll talk about those guys in a second here, but you mentioned that it's a different way of coming to the conclusions on some of these investigations. I know the IARP is going away because I don't think it was as efficient as the NCAA had hoped. Yeah, I mean, it's been 5 years, you're right. And when you talk about the NCAA thinks something's inefficient, it's inefficient. But do you think that maybe, I think it might change the way that the Infractions Committee handles things. Maybe they learn a little something from this, and it might fundamentally change the way that some of these investigations are not only the way they take them over, but sometimes what's revealed from those and the punishments that are handed down. Or am I being too optimistic?
No, I don't think you're being too optimistic. I think we're in a period of tremendous change with the NCAA because let's remember in 2017, there was no NIL. So a lot of the rules that people in the past have said are being broken are not rules anymore. I had a coach text me today saying, why do we have a compliance department keeping track of how many times I'm text messaging somebody?
Right.
I think a lot of the rules that are currently in place are going to go away. The NCAA is really kind of disintegrating before our eyes. It's going to end up in I think many people think just to be a group that runs the tournament if they can hold on to control of the tournament and runs college sports at the lower levels where there isn't the money involved. But if you work today at the Enforcement Committee, how deflating or depressing would this day be?
What are you enforcing?
Yeah, you've worked on this thing for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
You got a whole bunch of information from the FBI. You thought you had a really sound case, right? Mm-hmm. And that you were told basically, no.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, would you keep working there? I mean, what reason I would consider a career change.
I mean, you're right. The FBI was involved in this.
Correct.
And the FBI was involved with U of L and Rick Pitino at the time. He was pretty happy Thursday because, as you said, I mean, we're talking about things that are legal now for the most part. But he did reference like maybe there's a chance here this opens the window, or maybe opens the window a crack, that the NCAA goes back and looks at the 2013 title and that 2017 decision that vacated it. I don't know if I'm ready to. That might be a bridge too far for the NCAA right now.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. That one was already adjudicated, enforced in the record book. The banner was brought down. It was a whole different case by the Infractions Committee. And frankly, I don't really think, and I know that ardent U of L fans disagree, but I think they're better off to forget about it and move on instead of keep having this NCAA discussion surrounding the program. If you believe that, they did win the championship. They beat Michigan. They had a great run. We all know what happened. It's just in some ways, as a technicality of whether it's in a record book or whether a banner's up. We all know they won. We know that Montrezl Harrell dumped. We know that the Peyton Siva got Jim Nance's tie. We know what everybody did for Luke Hancock and his father. I mean, I think the benefits of keeping this fight going and not sure you would win it wouldn't be worth it compared to people still talking about Louisville having issues with the NCAA.
It's scandal fatigue.
Yeah,
and
that's a good word for it.
And we've been around it since, 2005, 2006. And I think that probably there are a lot of people in the media that are, we're all glad it's kind of over now, and we can
Sure.
actually focus on basketball. I know Kenny Payne has to be, because
Absolutely.
he came in and he's told us it's not about wins and losses, and they did lose to a Division II team in an
they did.
exhibition, but he says it's not about wins and losses. It's trying to rebuild a culture that has frankly been bruised and battered. The brand is not what it was in 2013. So he's got some work to do.
That's exactly right. That's what my column is. People say Louisville, the punishment was nothing. It was a slap on the wrist. No, the punishment was the waiting for 5 years. The punishment was a huge punishment to the brand. Yeah. All you have to do is, you've gone to U of L games over the last year. We were both there on Sunday. The fan interest has dropped way off.
Yeah.
There's not the buzz around the program that there used to be. They lost to a Division II team. They're picked to finish near the bottom of the ACC. Louisville has, the program, the fans, the players have paid a significant price, even without another NCAA penalty.
Yeah, they have. We've got a lot more up on WDRB.com. Thank you, Rick Bozich.
Thank you, John.